Tonight we're here from Drake Queen Game and something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Oscar's Paths. Y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, we're up, and let's go. His ears had gotten tense of pink whenever Lily complimented him before, but now they've gone completely red. He starts rubbing his neck. Geez, you sound like my little sister whenever she wants something from me. And the mood is gone. We'll work on that. We will? Lily grabs onto Conrad's arm and nudges him forward, which he obliges without issue. The two of them are muttering between each other, but I'm content keeping my distance. Sounds like they need it. I'm focusing on the weasel in the distance. I expected him to be talking like everyone else, but he's looking straight at me. But he doesn't look angry or upset. He just looks amused. Off to the side, I can see Rex leaning against one of the benches. He's actually trying to look nonchalant, but it's obvious he's trying to keep an eye on us as well. He wasn't kidding when he said he didn't trust Wilf. But he was also the one who admitted he didn't think Wilf would be doing this for malicious reasons. It didn't fit him. As we arrive, Wilf turns his gaze off for what feels like the first time since we arrived. They glide over to Carter before returning to me with an almost disappointed sigh. Did you expect me to spill everything just because you brought the big man over? Honestly, Wallace, I expected better of you. Carter looks in my direction, allowing me to engage him without any intervention. Not until it's needed, anyway. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. No, I wouldn't do that. I just thought it couldn't hurt to have someone else around, right? Are you scared of me? I wouldn't do anything out here in public. Not saying I'd do anything anywhere else, but that's hardly the point. Seems a little paranoid. He emphasizes that word with a massive smile, knowing exactly why people might think that. He's aware of his reputation and expects to be distrusted. I turn my attention back to Lily and Carter, both of which look surprised at the sudden shift. Hey, do you think I can speak to Wilf alone? You guys can stand nearby, but I think this might be better in private. Are you sure, Wallace? I really don't mind staying. I can't wait to see what Wilf CG looks like. Listen, if you're uncomfortable, I'll be okay. If I need either of you, I'll call you two over. Lily looks concerned for a moment before smiling and grabbing Carter's arm, who looks a little more reluctant to leave this volatile situation. Come on, I think this might be for our ears anyway. We'll just chill over there and you can tell me more about your sisters. They sound fascinating. You really think so? I've been trying to tell you that. Lily drags Carter over to the bench near Rex, who nearly knocks over all his stuff once he realizes he can't just pretend to be busy to keep watch. Neither of them seem to catch the rat's frantic actions as Carter looks more than distracted with Lily, who's sneakily flashing me a thumbs up behind his back. What happened to not being distracted by any guys or girls? Hypocrite. After nearly blowing out my eardrum yelling after Carter. Oh. What happened to not being distracted by any guys or girls? Hypocrite. After nearly blowing out my eardrums yelling after Carter, Wilf drops down to grumbling under his breath, nearly causing me to miss what he said. Despite his annoyed tone, he almost looks happy for the wolf, but our eyes meet and that moment is over, his malicious grin returning to his face, complimenting his villainous persona. If you decide to come here without your bodyguard, decided you didn't want to stay away anymore, or did you want to try and pry into my head for more information about Conrad? I told you. How about you figure it out first? I wasn't going to force you to say it. I thought we might be able to talk. You didn't seem comfortable with Oscar around, so we decided he shouldn't come next time. Once again, he almost seems thrown off by the thought that someone might actually care about his boundaries. For a few seconds, he looks lost for words before scowling. What did you want, Wallace? You're clearly here because you want something, and there's more than just you who has a vested interest in this conversation. We turn towards the bench nearby, while Carter looks more interested in talking to Lily, all three of them look in our direction before scrambling to look away. I didn't mean for this to become a massive thing. I just really wanted to talk to you and thought it might be better to ask someone you might know. Ask someone you might know. You asked Rex? It's so deliciously ironic. Despite the playful words, there's a bitterness in his voice that I've never heard in our previous conversations. This might be a genuine sore spot. Sorry, I heard the two of you had history. He offered to come talk instead, but I thought that wouldn't be particularly fair on either of you. He pauses again and gives another confused sigh before sitting down on the grass, seemingly uninterested in our back and forth. For a second, I think I completely blew his chance, but he motions for me to join him, and I sit down next to him as we watch men of various sizes and species charge across the field. You just like him, and it's incredibly frustrating. Who? Baxter? I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you what Conrad talked to me about. I made myself clear. I figured it out. I know what he was hiding. That causes his attention. It catches his attention. He leans away from me, planting his arms firmly behind him as his patronizing smile returns. It's clear he doesn't believe me. But I can also see he's treading more carefully. He's waiting for my first move, and I likely only have one chance this time. I know that Conrad was gay and that he was just dating to hide his sexuality. That makes his smile dim, and while he still has that arrogant air to him, it doesn't feel as authentic as before. That's hardly all of it. It's enough, isn't it? Right? But I know his secret, what he was hiding. He came to you because he didn't feel comfortable coming to Nathan because he was worried it might change things between them. Nathan was too close. Nathan was too naive. That's what he was. He wouldn't have understood. Nathan likes to think he's a loner, but he's already had people on his side. People don't know what it's like to have your back against the wall. Have you been there? Me? God, no. Do I look like the type of guy who let that happen to me? I know better than that. I think that's why he picked me. There wouldn't have been any pity or consoling, just coldness. He wanted an objective view. I don't think that's true. I think he saw you as someone he could trust with this. Me? I'd sell out in a heartbeat if it served me. But you didn't. I've hardly had a chance. You could have used it to bargain with it. If it truly meant nothing to you, you'd have offered it to us, right? We were clearly desperate if we were coming to meet with people we knew nothing about, and you don't exactly have the best reputation. But you didn't. You still refused to tell us. I gave you a condition. You're making up reasons in your head to paint me as some savior. A condition that required us to already know the secret. That's basically the same as telling us no, full stop. You've heard my reputation. Even if that's true, coming to me hardly makes sense. It doesn't sound like he's talking to me anymore, or like he's trying to convince himself of this. You know, your reputation isn't as bad as you think. There are people who will vouch for you. It catches him off guard, and he looks at me with suspicion. The tables have completely turned, but I don't intend to abuse them. I just want to make a connection. Baxter argued against everything. He thinks you're a good guy. Selwyn thinks so too, even if he doesn't think you're entirely trustworthy. They're naive. Always have been. They haven't grown up a single bit since high school. Rex did too. That completely shuts him up, though he looks away to hide whatever emotions streak across his face. I can't tell if he's irritated or confused. He had a lot of negative to say about you too. I'm not gonna act like he was on your side, but he said he didn't think you'd abuse something this important. Moron. Fine, whatever, you win. You're as freakishly stubborn as the annoying bat. Yes, I hadn't intended on telling anyone what happened. There's no need to disturb someone while they're resting. He's been through enough hardship and people wouldn't understand. Not really. You mentioned Nathan was too naive? Nathan sees the world in two ways. People who deserve to be in his life and those who shouldn't. There's no room for those who you're stuck with. Is this about Conrad's father? You figured that out too? Maybe you're not a total lost cause. It's not too late to ditch your boyfriend. Lily did, actually. I don't think I would have figured this out without her help. And I'm happy in my relationship, thank you. I can tell there's a lot of baggage there, and who wants to deal with all that? But it won't bother. I can tell you're stuck to him like glue. He'll never be rid of you. I'll always say it. Guys like you are the scariest. Thank you? I haven't decided if it's a compliment yet. Just recognized from one manipulator to another, knowingly or otherwise. His smile has returned in full force, and I can feel the minefield again. There's traps everywhere, and I need to tread carefully. I don't understand why they need to go through all this. Because reputation is everything. What reputation? He changed his name. Isn't the whole point of that so you can have a fresh start? What's the point if you're still holding back? And that's where you're naive. You think the new identity was for his sake. It wasn't? People talk around here. It's natural. And when you're a jock who is on a football team with a genuine chance to make it far, people notice who you are. It doesn't take long for people to notice that you're never going out to any other parties, never hooking up with any of the girls, never had any girlfriend. I opened my mouth to speak, but it's like he already knows what I was going to say before I thought about it. It doesn't matter if that's enough to think that. All it takes is a little whisper in a conversation for something going from an amusing coincidence to an overwhelming inferno. I don't get it. Would it be that bad? It might have been better for Conrad himself if people knew, but it wouldn't do well for his father. Hard as he did to scrub, it's impossible to hide the connection between them. Quinn couldn't let anything happen to his friend, so she made a decision. She told Helena that she had a new boy of her dreams for her to meet, knowing it would lead nowhere. Why? She was desperate to save a friend. Conrad didn't want to ruin his father to go live his life. He's someone willing to suffer in silence. No surprise he gravitated to Nathan. Helena was just the unfortunate victim, chosen for convenience. Not so innocent anymore, is she? People do desperate things sometimes. For what it's worth, I don't think Conrad wanted to just manipulate her. He genuinely cared for that woman, for some reason. I take a moment to check over at the others. They figured that things look to be coming along well enough, so they don't look to be watching like a hawk anymore. Lily keeps laughing at whatever Carter says, and his entire face goes red every time. Rex looks more preoccupied with his phone to pay attention to his surroundings. That gives me a thought I should have been asking from the beginning. I wanted to ask you about something that could have been seen from his perspective. What happened after the truth was revealed? He was upset. What do you think? His deeply held secret was exposed, and there's a good chance he lost everything. Of course he was upset. Who do you think had to hear about it? He came running back to me as if I had an answer coming out to someone. Most of that whining was about how guilty he felt. I really hated doing that to her, but it was deemed as a necessary evil. If they saw where it led, they might change their minds. Why didn't they try to get back in contact with her? Try to smooth things over? What was she to say? Sorry, bitch, I completely faked everything, but did you want to be friends? Hardly. He fucked up, simple as that. He decided he wanted to wait a month or two before contacting her, but he wished he'd called her a little earlier. I don't think I have much more I wanted to ask. I already figured out a lot, but I wanted to answer you. Now that sounds tempting. But I don't think I should interfere if you have anything going on with Rex or Baxter, but I agree with them. You can be a good guy when you want to be, which is exceptionally rare. The conversation dies after that, but he makes no effort to shoo me away. It isn't until I see a blue figure in the distance again that I decide it might be better to reunite with Oscar soon. Wilf didn't make any comment as I got up or to my farewell, but I could tell he was listening to me as I left. That hint of a smile never left the corner of his mouth the entire time. I didn't learn anything that I hadn't already been told from the diary and Lily's investigations, but I also feel like I learned something crucial. Conrad not only has basically negative game. It really sounded like Conrad cared about Helena's feelings, even after everything that happened to him. He wanted just friendship and hoped it was enough to carry, but it wasn't. There's truly no doubt in my mind that Conrad was a good person and Nathan deserves to know everything. The others perk up as soon as I get close enough, but no one takes a step to ask me what I found out. They care much more about my safety, even though they were right next to us. Waves start to crash into my ears as I explain that I managed to get as much as I wanted from Wilf, but I can't even hear what they reply with over the waves crashing. I already know this can't be good, so I try to excuse myself, but Lily follows after me. After a short talk where I explain he should take her shot with Carter, she leaves me alone. Rex doesn't bother coming after me. He'll just expect me to tell him sometime in the future. When? When it's appropriate. By the time I was completely rid of them, I'd somehow gotten back to the campus and I could feel exhaustion taking over me. Today had been a lot. I saw from a message on my phone from Oscar that he was going to meet me back at home, but I didn't bother answering. Lily sent that she's already talked to Oscar and Lucas about meeting up tomorrow to discuss what we should do. I have to agree. It's a smart thing. That's something someone with a fully functional brain would say. I feel like I'm walking in a daze as the roaring waves continue to ring in my ears until I feel someone grab me by the arm. For a second, I think it's Oscar, who must have been waiting for me to get back after he finished with the pool, but the hands are too small. But as the figure comes into view, I can feel my heart sink. Oh. Another jolt causes the figure and the endless noise to disappear, leaving me alone with two figures in front of me. Selwyn, who looks more than concerned as he finally lets go of my arm, and Baxter. Nope. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!